Greetings, citizens of the internet! You can call me Nitro Indigo, and welcome back to my extremely riveting Let's Play of Kirby's Dream Land 3. In the last episode, we did the first 3 stages of Sand Canyon, and in this episode, we're doing the 4th stage. I've already forgot that Ripple Field 2 played in this stage. But anyway, recently, as in the day before I recorded this, I'm recording this on the 18th of November, the day when all the games get released, like Skyward Sword. And yesterday, which obviously would have been the 17th of November, I finished Kirby Triple Deluxe for the first time. Well, I knew what would happen already because I read the spoilers, but I got that game for my birthday, which was on the 10th of November. And here is the friend room. And I beat it today. And I've got to say, that game has some of like my favourite visual motifs in anything ever. Like, I don't really like how like Western CGI always like tries to look realistic as possible, even though the medium of animation lets you do like anything. Like the only really visually, like intentionally unrealistic CGI I can think of off the top of my head is Inside Out, and only the inside bit, as in the mind. Also, for some reason, the whole outside world in Inside Out reminds me of Studio Ghibli. And before we mentioned in the comments, I said 3D animation, also known as CGI. Hand-drawn animation is completely different. And while I'm here, I might as well say that French for 2D animation is dessin anime, which means drawing that came to life, which is also kind of what animation means. Animation comes from a Latin root, which means something like having a soul, moving, having breath. So animal and animation come from the same root, Animaniacs. But anyway, it has some like my favourite visual motifs in anything ever, because it has like all the flowers and stuff, and I really kind of like how they did like the world building, if you could call it that, because it's an extension of the Kirby lore. And I also kind of like how in general like recent Kirby games have tried to have more lore than just there are guys that kill people. What? It was like, yeah, this game has lore, it's just I don't really find it as interesting as the lore from the recent, starting with Kirby's Return to Wheeland, because that is the official title of the game, apparently. Also, Kirby's Adventure Wii or Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which really annoys me, and oh my goodness, I've done something wrong in this stage. I should have taken the bottom path. I'll see you there. Anyway, the correct path is downwards, and I don't know why this counts as water, but also, anyway, as I was saying, I really like the visual motifs in Kirby Triple Deluxe, because it's like a very creative, and I wish that any CGI company in the world, anywhere ever, would take some inspiration from this. Like, oh, another unrealistic CGI thing like surreal looking CGI I can think of that's not in a video game is this French movie called Moon Guarding the Moon, which I got at HMV today, which, if you don't know, is a place that sells DVDs and nerd merchandise like shirts. And I'm sorry, I was just checking my notes to see if I was going the right way. I am. Hello, Joe, and I died. Rip pitch. But anyway, Moon Guarding the Moon, it looks a bit cheesy, is that the right word? But I had expendable cash because it was my birthday recently, as I had said. Just as I had said. That was horribly worded, but yeah, at HMV I also got Digimon Adventure, a box set of 54 episodes. I almost said 24. And Cars 3 on Blu-ray. Also, I like how the DVD Blu-ray and 3D Blu-ray for Cars 3 all have different box arts, at least in the UK. Like, they're really similar, but they seem to like show the same scene from different angles, if that makes any sense. I don't really like summon controls in Kirby, because the only way to go faster is to also go up at the same time. Like, I would really like to play a game where like it entirely takes place underwater. So like of course the swimming controls would be good, and this is the place we need to go. Here is a broom. I have forgotten what this broom is called, so relevant text appear. Like, Kirby Triple Deluxe, it's a very fine looking game because it has all the flower motifs. And I like how it has like theming in a Kirby game. Like, you wouldn't expect that. But you should expect quality from, like, you wouldn't expect theming in a Kirby game or motifs in a Kirby game, but there is, and it's good. It's good that people are putting effort into their products because that kind of like symbolism, or like this character, by the way, is Gombe from this Japanese game called Shin Onigashima. There's music from it in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But anyway, I really like Kirby Triple Deluxe design because it has all the flowers and pastel colours and stuff, and it just feels like really consistent. Is that a good word? Like, it feels like the people who made it had a clear design vision. And I really like the other two games in the modern Kirby series thing, whatever, because as well, like in terms of aesthetics, there's like Kirby's Return to Wii Land has all the the curly whirly rainbows that loop-de-loop over each other, and the inexplicable windmill tree because this is now Klonoa, and that's only like the first level. Because I played that game once. I've seen the Runaway Guys Let's Play of it, not all the way through, because I have this thing where I watch Let's Plays, and I don't watch the whole thing. I just kind of watch it in like I watch the episodes at just random times. Like, I just watch them try watching them in order and then get bored and watch them in a completely random order and gooey. Oh, here's an exploit. If you have half a square of health left, and I should have. Oh, I got the wrong ability. I meant to get Spike from Togezo here. Not speaking featured Togemon, which is a Digimon that looks like a cactus because Toge is Japanese for spike. Hence Togepi, the spiked ball Pokemon, or the egg Pokemon as they called it in that episode of the anime, the first one it appeared in, Who Gets to Eat Togepi, which I used to think was pronounced Togepi. But anyway, Kirby's Return to Dreamland or Kirby's Adventure Wii, I like the American title more, but not really the grammar of it. I really like how that game looks. It also kind of looks a bit weirdly flat, and I should have gotten stone from this Rocky. Insert quote from Parappa the Rapper, which I sung last video. But anyway, like, and then in like Kirby Planet Robobot, it has like this whole thing where they put mechanical things in the background, but it's not like there's some kind of weird subtlety to it. Like, there's a whole spaghetti western in the desert place. I've forgotten what it's called. Something Grounds? But anyway, and in the... but then, like, they're like these pylons which are like forks with spaghetti on them, so it's a spaghetti western because it's a desert. And then in like one of the city places, I think it's Rhythm Route, because there are two places with R in names and they both look really similar. It has like houses, but they look like jukeboxes, and like a natural landscape with mechanical things in it is like probably my favourite aesthetic, because it's like in Digimon and it's in cars as well. But speaking of aesthetics, I summoned Gooey. Most like dream worlds in video games don't really look that much like dreams, because the dreams I have are basically like warped memories, fairly realistic dreams. But then like in games like this or Klonoa, they're weird whimsical worlds of whimsicalness, and then like Nights might be like that, might be like that too, except that all the places are supposed to represent the human children's subconscious. Because I've been watching Tessellating Hexagons' ongoing Let's Play of Night's Journey of Dreams recently, and in the most recent episode, he was in the second mission of the second mission of Memory Forest, where basically it was like Memory Forest is made of the girl's memories, and the girl is called Helen, by the way, and it's like it's forest, but then it's got all like lampposts and picnic tables in it, because it's like the whole English childhood where they're like Enid Blyton, they have ginger beer in the woods. But also, and then like in the first mission, there's like it's like a library as well, and then there's a random carousel there for some reason. I don't know why, and I completely missed this. There's the Maxim Tomato. I don't know why, but the Maxim Tomato sprite in this game looks like a ladybird, and it does in most old Kirby games actually. And in order to get these, you need Ice and Nago, which I don't have, so And now there is a boulder. But like, it seems like dream worlds in video games seem to have more in common with like German fairy tales, like things that like it's all like whimsical, but it's also slightly dark. Like imagine that you're in like a forest, it's all overgrown and it's like really nice green colours, but they're also a bit dark. like the border illustrations in Dragon Rider the Griffin's Feather. Like, I know it's what they call when you just have illustrations that that add to the atmosphere more than they actually show what's going on in the borders. Because they have them in like the Magic Faraway tree as well, and I don't know which way is the correct way. Oh, here's the friend room. We need Choo Choo for this because it's another escort level. The character who we're escorting her to is her sister, I think, called Newpun. And she's the, actually she's not, I was about to say she's the only one of the friend characters who isn't pink, but no, there's another one. Spoiler alert, in Iceberg, the character, the escorting to character is white coloured. And her name is literally Shiro, which is Japanese for white. Who is she associated with? Well, you'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah, we need fire as well. And here it is. I've forgotten what I was talking about. Like, they seem like German fairy tales because all a bit whimsical but also dark. It's like, I'm thinking about like Hansel and Gretel. They go into a woods and find a witch that eats children. Yay! And I'm, oh no! Well, I'm gonna have to redo this again. Anyway, as I was saying, like, Kirby games are supposed to be dream themed because they take place in Dreamland, but they don't really feel very dreamy. And to be honest, like, this game, like, I was talking about visual motifs earlier, this game doesn't really seem to have really any visual motifs besides the random shapes. But, like, it's not really as strong visual theming as Kirby Triple Deluxe, if that makes any sense. And I need Cutter. I almost called it Boomerang. Also, you know that Cartoon Network related channel Boomerang? It's called Boomerang because it's about things coming back. Mind equals blown. And hello, Dekaboo and regular Kaboo. I don't know why there are Easter Island heads called Kaboo, but they are. And they've been in here since in the series since the very first game. I like how, like, unlike most franchises, the first Kirby game doesn't like share its name with the franchise, at least in English it does in Japan, because it makes it easier to refer to without having to use in context. And this is the part where I know I don't need fire. Choo Choo can wall climb. And there is an egg which hatches into a propeller. Choo Choo jumping is just really weird as well. I don't know these fluffy bits. I don't know what these fluffy bits are, I was going to say. And she throws snowballs. Who hit Cupcake? Because Rise of the Guardians was a movie. It is also my favourite movie, but I can't find any words to say about it. It just bores me. It's so good it's bad. And I'm almost out of health, but luckily there are no more enemies here, so... Hello, Newpun. Okay, bye, Choo Choo. Of course. The 6th level of Sand Canyon is kind of long, but I do have stuff to cut out of this video, so I might as well do it. Because I was originally thinking about doing it in its own video. And this music's not fitting for this part of the level, but it will be fitting later. And for this level, I might actually need GUI, and by might actually do, it would be... And now, in this following level, it's a good idea to have GUI with you, even if you don't have a second player, because it will make the main chunk of the level much easier if you do. And these are called Terrans, because they have wings, and Terra is Greek for wing with a P. And these are Cappies, and these are moles that look like they came out of Yoshi's Island. Now here is the place where most of this level takes place, in the Black Pyramid. You saw it on the level preview. The trippy Black Pyramid, the surrealist Black Pyramid of creativity. Yeah, also to be honest, I don't know, Kirby 64 has like really simple graphics even for Kirby standards. Like, there aren't many things with like patterns on them, even if they do in other Kirby games, which is probably due to technical limitations, because like it's probably one of the better looking games on the N64, because all the other games are like box monsters. But also, for this next part, I need Kine and Umbrella. Well, because as basically the way this black pyramid is laid out, you need to go to certain places, and it's pulsating for some reason. You need to go into, there's a bunch of rooms in like a circle, and you have to keep going to different ones in order to get part of the side quest. Because, spoiler alert, you're collecting things in this side quest, as is the... Oh, I thought I fell into a pit, but no, there was a thing there. In this level, you need to collect things, because all 6 stages require you to collect things in odd-numbered levels. I'm probably using Mario terminology again. These are levels with stages in them. In stage 6 of levels 1, 3, and 5, you need to collect a certain amount of, you need to collect certain items in different parts of the room. First of all, with Umbrella Kine, I need to go down to the bottom right. Because I need to do this. Or I could just miss completely. Eventually, I need to get a really big running start for this then. And we need Kine because we have to swim against this current, and there is an arm. I wonder whose arm this is. Well, you already saw on the preview. Spoiler alert, it's Rob, the robotic operating buddy, or just Robot in Japan. Because naming sense, what's that? And bye, Kine. I'm leaving you to die in the red part of the pyramid. See you later. For this next part, I need Rock. The guy who gives you Rock is on the other side. Oh, or I can just kill him. Whoops. I might as well nom you. Nom you? And we also need Ko. This is where I recommend using GUI. Of course, to use GUI, I need a second player, so excuse me while I go get my gamepad. Because I'm going to use GUI to get Ko. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Why, you may ask? Well, when GUI gets too far away from Kirby, he'll automatically jump if he's being controlled by a second player. Of course, the second player in this case is my gamepad, and I accidentally left my gamepad's volume on. So I needed to turn that down. And now we need to go into the bottom left room. Also, these weird cannon things are called Zadons, I think. In fact, I don't need Rock for this at all. I could just do this. Okay, bye, GUI. Might as well have... Oh, I was about to rock out. Never mind. The normal way to do it would be to use stone and you basically use stone and Ko together to break through a by the way, by Ko, I'm leaving in yellow. Use stone. The normal way would to basically go down here with break all these star blocks with stone Ko, and then there's this these blocks that can only be broken by stone. I almost said breaken. And that Ko would break, but the problem is there's a really big risk that you'll accidentally fall and die doing that, and I accidentally went back through the door. Anyway, next of all, I need Spark Kine. And I can't just cheese this one with gooey either. And with Kai, we need to go to the top left. I've kind of run out of things to talk about, but at least I'm talking more about the game than I normally do. That's good. Makes it sound like I actually care about this game, which I do, but still. Yeah, this is my favourite video game in 2015. And I've discovered other games since then, and you can see kind through that Zab on me. That's what I call sprite layering. Because we need to use kind to see which door is correct. It's the one with the O on it. A circle, whatever. And this is the grey room. Okay, I just want to see what the background would look like if you lit it up. It's not very exciting. If you don't need spike kind. You can just look up what which door you have to go to, but this is easier. Whee! Okay, now we need to go up, and there's no real reason for me to get rid of spark kind, so, or just kind normally, so we need to go up here. Climbing up is not very exciting, and this room isn't dark. Spark kind is very situational. He was nerfed in Kirby's Dream Land 2. Here's Rob's head. In Kirby's Dream Land 2, basically Spark kind was like a projectile attack, and you can only drop down through the. Of course, I'm going to get crushed. You can only drop down through the blue parts of the floor, but that just wasn't working for some reason. And now we're almost at the end of the level, because the exit is right. Okay. I think it's because I'm too much on the red for it to count as me going through the blue. Okay, here's something random to talk about. Recently, oh wait a minute, I can just go back to the swim back to the camera, it's no problem. Anyway, I don't know why it counts as water dough. This is a bit weird. The womb pyramid. I don't know. Anyway, recently I've been playing Monster Hunter Stories. I haven't played much of it, but two things that kind of irk me. First of all, everyone speaks in a fictional language. It's like, oh, at least that's what the voice acting is in. The problem is, it's intonated exactly like Japanese, and I thought it was Japanese at first, until I realised there was no option to change the language, and then I realised it was a fictional language. And it's just like really distracting. Like in the Klonoa games, the Phantom Island language is based on Japanese, but it doesn't sound exactly like it. And also thinking about that made me realise that Leorina's voice acting from Klonoa to Lunatea's Veil is actually really good. And here are the cacti from the first level, it's bookends. But anyway, and also with the character of Lilia, she's like a helium-induced anime girl. In fact, everyone just sounds really generic. But also, another thing that's a bit weird about that game is how it saves to the SD card for some reason. My best guess is that there's so much stuff on the cartridge that there wasn't enough space to have battery backup, which is how saving to a cartridge works. Or maybe they just thought it was a Nintendo Switch game. What do you mean I missed a part? Is it big? Seriously, what part did I miss? Oh, I collected them in the wrong order. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to do that all again. Yay. To be honest, I've been playing this for a while and I don't really feel like getting it in this session, so off screen I will get all of the different Rob parts in the correct order this time, and then we will fight the boss. Until then, stay interesting. Actually, I don't think I'll get the Rob parts off screen.